decade. A stunning amount of people behind that camera right now are not going to be successful in sales because they're not willing to work hard enough. They love the automation. They love all these tools. The problem is, if you have the greatest hammer and the greatest screwdriver and the greatest wrench, the greatest, in front of you, if you don't use them properly, you will lose.
Right.
If there's a nail that I have to put in that ground, but I take the wrench and I hit it when the hammer was right there, it still comes down to the practitioner. And you have to be good at your craft, and you have to love your, if you don't love sales, if you don't love it, you have no chance. Because it's so hard, it's so painful, there's so much rejection.
Right.
So those are the things I think about.
So for any sales professionals watching, where would you advise that they start in terms of creating their own content or sharing their content, adding their own context as well?
Before I go directly into the tactics of should you make a video, should you do a written blog post, or should you do a podcast, you have to reverse engineer who you're trying to get to.
Right.
So I think the number one rule of salespeople is to listen. Know your audience. Know what they did. If you see an M&A just happen, if you see layoffs just happening, if you see one of their, if I see Burger King doing something, I'm thinking, what does McDonald's think of this? Right. So that's number one. Number two, where are they spending time? Everybody as a salesperson has to figure out how do they best communicate. Is it written word? Is it audio? Is it video? Is it in person? And how do you use the digital world in audio, written, or video form to create the gateway drug to in-person? I look at sales very differently than the far majority. I think way too many salespeople are impatient. I think way too many salespeople are transactional. I think way too many salespeople are lowest common denominator, spam, blast LinkedIn, email bulk, business card, business card, business card. So I think I've got a different tactic on sales, but don't get it twisted, it's what I am. If you're not happy with your upside, if you're not fully fulfilled, I think a lot of you are doing things that are directly in front of you. Numbers that they put in front of you, you're trying to achieve that because you have a beach house you want to buy or go on that vacation. Sales is a funny game if you work in a big company. They manipulate numbers to create your actions. I believe that the best salespeople are doing things in a different way. I think you need to care about the customer for real, reverse